What is up, YouTube? It is Rahul. My voice is almost back, I know. I still sound a little bit off the radar, but I've been resting the last couple days. It's been coming back. I'm feeling good. So today we're going to look at Rapid Strike Malamar, Octillery Inteleon, a deck that Simon used to get second place at Zach's late night event last night. A very cool deck, a deck that I've been meaning to talk about, but a lot of people have been playing Chinchina with it. So the biggest difference from that to this build is that it uses Inteleon. Now, we have the staple pieces of the list, where Malamar uses Rapid Strike Tentacles, 40x40 for each card revealed this way, and shuffle those cards into your deck. And you pair it with Octillery, Rapid Strike Search, a natural Rapid Strike Pokemon, helps you get Rapid Strike cards, and it acts as damage. Right, but then there's Inteleon, with these 4 copies of Keep Calling Sobble, which is also a Rapid Strike Pokemon, and this Inteleon line. You're able to get these extra little bits of damage in with quick shooting, making it so you don't need the full 40 damage here and there. But also, at the end of the day, after using the Drizziles that you want to use, you have 4 copies of Scoop Up Net to pick them back up, put them into your hand, and all of a sudden, bada bing, bada boom, you're rolling. You get that extra damage out of nowhere. You can go Drizzile into Scoop Up Net, pick it back up, get that damage, or Drizzile into a Scoop Up Net to pick up a full Inteleon, getting another 80 damage in the hand out of nowhere. There's 1 copy of Rescue Carrier and 1 copy of Ordinary Rod. These 2 are both our recovery cards to get back our Malamar cards and be able to use them again and again. 4 copies of Level Ball, 3 copies of Great Ball, Search, 4 Crystal, and 4 Incense. A very vanilla, very consistent build across the board. Nothing funny, nothing cute, just that. There's 3 copies of Brawly, which is a very interesting addition because Brawly isn't a card that's really seeing play ever. But Brawly is a Rapid Strike supporter, which adds damage to our Rapid Strike deck, and also gives us 3 basic Rapid Strike Pokemon to put onto our bench. This is a really good turn 1, turn 2 setup, etc., etc. There are 4 copies of Bruno. Now, Bruno lets you shuffle and draw until 7. Probably the best supporter in the deck, just because we're probably getting knocked out every turn. Come on, we give out 120 HP. We're not Supermen here. We're Malamars. And then there's 4 copies of Korrina's Focus. Another Rapid Strike supporter. It can be searched out with Octillery. We can draw cards, bada bing, bada boom. And there's 4 Spiral Energy, which acts as Rapid Strike Energy, and 2 copies of Psychic, which are Fog Crystal searchable. Notable omissions from the list are the Stadium. Now, I know you guys are thinking Stadium is a very important part, but what Stadium really helps us in this scenario? Where does the Stadium really factor into everything? What does it kind of help us do? The math doesn't really make sense with the Stadium, and the Brawly does kind of the same thing. So let's jump into some gameplay. Let's see how this goes. Going first is always great. Probably the scariest matchup for us is Rapid Strike Urshifu, just because they can rapid flow through our whole board. Yes, Malamar one-shots them very easily with the weakness, but they can always take out our support engine, and that's the scariest. Now, big decks like Shadow Rider, we can always play for those 2 shots early. We're trading better than they are, so that's our game plan. Cool. The Level Ball kind of saved us. We always Great Ball first to see what we get. There's an Inkay. We're never in danger of getting knocked out, so we can go ahead and grab ourselves a Sobble here. We've already got the Remoraid in play. We're going to attach the basic Psychic. We have the Evo Incense. We have a Drizzile to Scoop Up Net this guy. We can go done. I don't think I'm ever one-shotting the horse next turn, but if I can just set up my hand to kind of play and do some damage, I can always set up for the 2-shot, and that'll be kind of more than enough, because this guy's probably going to evolve the active into the big guy, but I mean, Shadow Rider is one of those decks that does pivot around really easily, so they can set up a new Shadow Rider VMAX out of nowhere. That's probably a little bit of the scariest thing about this deck, but with only 2 Shadow Riders in play, that looks pretty likely that one's going to stay. So let's go ahead and do this. Grabbing ourselves the Scoop Up Net here. We'll pick this guy back up, throw him out. We'll go boom, boom, so we can grab ourselves another copy of the Inkay. So we're setting up for the future here. We're going to do this. Now, ideally, if we didn't have the Scoop Up Net and we had the Stadium, this would be a little bit easier to kind of stomach. But we're going to go ahead and just Rapid Strike Tentacles these 2 cards. Now, I want to get max use out of Bruno for next turn, so we're going to kind of do it this way if we get knocked out, because we have a good setup, we have something going. We have our Inteleon in play, or almost in play, sorry. We have the Inkay ready to go for next turn. So beyond our current board, we don't really need to bench too much else. We can probably bench another Drizzile or like another Inteleon line. But besides that, our bench doesn't need to have anything else on it. Our 2 Malamars are pretty much indicative that we can keep the flow going. That's more than enough, in my opinion. And our 1 Octillery should kind of carry us. This isn't a deck that like kind of targets our bench or anything. So we're pretty okay. Now this bench Shadow Rider will be coming up and probably smacking us. And that's a-okay. I mean, we can one-shot it. It's very difficult to one-shot it, but we can, yes. But I wouldn't count our lucky stars. Fog Crystal. Now our opponent will be looking to set up another Shadow Rider, because typically Malamar decks, we don't play boss, and they probably know that we don't play boss. So we don't have a way to like gust up this guy that we just did 80 damage to. But just a retreat. Interesting. So we're just going to go ahead and Bruno. We need to kind of do it now, I guess. Not the most ideal of hands. If we do this, we get the 80 still. If I just ping net, I get ping net, don't bench, 180. Let's try that out real quick. Ping, and then 180 would put it to 280, and then I would have to put 1 Sobble down to think again. Maybe evolving to Malamar was a mistake. I had the knockout. I fucked that up. Man, I messed that up. See, that's a very simple calculation math that I messed up. So now we're just going to commit to this play. And we're going to go ahead and toss these 2 back in. I'm doing it this way because I have the follow-up Drizzile to get supporter from deck. And when the active goes down, I'll have a Bruno, which in turn helps me do a ton of damage back here. And I believe, okay, this one doesn't have a healing attack. This guy does. So this could have been a little bit of a problem, but we also pinged the active because he's going to run away. And so this, maybe the ping didn't matter here, actually. Maybe I should have pinged it back here. Set up for another ping. Sorry, guys, I'm not sick or anything. It's just talking is, like, irritating my throat. I've barely talked in 3 days, so it's like it's a very weird feeling. I will say that. But it's a welcome feeling. I definitely have missed the sound of my own voice, as conceited as that sounds. So we get the whole setup. Now Shadow Rider's up and running. We can't really stop it. He's going to be able to cycle through these things. But important to note, he's down to 17 cards in deck. I mean, I guess he doesn't have to accelerate any more cards, like, ever. Like, he's pretty much done accelerating cards. Like, he doesn't have to play any more cards, do anything else. But, I mean, he's just going to be able to one-shot everything from here on out. There's, like, nothing else we can do. But we came prepared for this. We came ready with squids. We got our attachment off for the turn. We get to Bruno for 7. All we need to do is hit a Malamar here. Or not a Malamar, Inkay. Okay. Inkay's good. I can go ahead and do this. Let's get the ball rolling. What do I want, though? Fog Crystal becomes Inkay. This becomes a card. Brawly's a supporter to throw. Net gets useful next turn when I have Shady Dealings. So 1, 2. Let's go ahead and grab a card. Three. 4. Okay. We'll do it this way. This way sets up for a potential 2-shot on this guy, but he's going to run to this guy. Which means, and I'm never one-shotting anything in this matchup. It's just improbable, I think. So, A boss onto the Octillery, a very smart play here. Eliminates that like option that I even have now to use Octilleries. So let's Great Ball first. Cool. I can even save the net now. Let's go ahead and grab ourselves a Bruno. And the Rod. I'm going to go ahead and just shuffle back in my Malamar line. I'm going to need those guys as we go. This is a game where we're going to need 6 Malamars, like almost certainly. I think getting a Drizzile after the Bruno is probably more impactful. Let's net still. Oh, let's Bruno. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I can do that. That's okay. So I want to get rid of those 4 cards. And I'll have Korrina's for next turn. So we preserve an attachment. We get 3 prize cards here. And we have a Korrina's Focus. Disappointingly, we didn't get a Sobble off of the Bruno. Or not a Sobble, a Drizzile. Which means we can't set up another ping. But this is probably like our first and only chance to potentially go for a one-shot. If we had that Shady Dealings available to us. Because we could like set up a really, really big hand and go for it. But alas, we can always, this upcoming turn, go Level Ball for the Drizzile into Evo Incense into Malamar. Or just get 1 Inkay with the Level Ball and then Drizzile for another Bruno. But that's all 3 of our Brunos, I believe. No, there's 4 in the deck. So we have 1 more Bruno. Okay. Now this being a basic Psychic is also really good. Our deck is thinning down, guys. We have the pieces to do some things. So that's good. We can also search our deck. We're going to grab an Inkay every time here. Okay, we have no more Bruno. But we can double Drizzile. So let's go ahead and set up that. Let's grab ourselves a Remoraid. Kind of threaten this option that we have now. Okay, so this turn we're not trying to like do a million amounts of damage. We're just trying to get ourselves set up and do some damage. Okay. And we'll Korrina's for 4. One, 2, 3. I drew into the Malady, so no. This isn't 4. We have 5, 6 here if I needed it. We're close. We're very, very close. We're very, very close. I can Crystal for the energy. Math doesn't change at all. I get the attachment. Then we can go ahead and boom, boom, boom. 3. So, I mean, it was a little bit lackluster. I could have gone for 5 here, I guess. If I had the Inkay in deck, we would have had 1 more. So see how close we were to getting that knockout off of pretty much starting the game or the turn with nothing. I mean, he's going to pivot into this now. The question is, do we have enough Malamars to outlast this ordeal? That's the biggest question in my opinion. But I mean, he also needs to have energy to outlast us. 1 O-Rod, 3 Psychic, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, they've got to have a ton of energy. They've got to have a ton. There's training quartz too. They just don't want to give it to us, so we get access to our Psychics. If they give us access to that, then we like can run away with this. Now, an interesting scenario here is I can get the one-shot. I just have to play it smart and hope for a little bit of luck. So let's try it. Let's go for it. We're going to grab ourselves Great Ball and Korrina's. I'm doing it this way because Great Ball can give us Malamar. Gives us Drizzile, I guess. we can thin a little bit further. I guess Level Ball can just be another Inkay on the bench. We have one net. One net. Okay, I mean, we're just going to grab the Inkay. Let's play it safe. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's draw. 4 cards. I think I have it. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I'm 1 short. 4, 5. If I do 6, though, can I double ping with Inteleon to end it? I can, I guess. But he's going to take 1 prize here this turn. So maybe that's not enough. Let's do it anyway. Let's do it anyway. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're 1 card short. That's very close, actually. No, we're not, actually. We're 2 cards short. What am I doing? What's math? Wow, we needed a lot, actually. 6, 7. I need 8? Ooh. Never mind. I might have thrown that. Oops. Well, now we're out of nets. Now we're out of nets. And our opponent has a Cresselia that we didn't see. So it's going to be a little bit of a pivot move for them. A little bit of a bad news bears for us. This is a scenario where if we had a boss, we would win the game. But also boss is like a bad card in this deck. Every turn we want to be playing a different supporter that isn't boss. So every time we have to play boss, it feels really bad. I do think this seals the game up for them, however. But we can talk about the deck and why it's still good. Okay. Okay. Let's get this bread. Let's get this bread. Okay. Also, not having Octillery really hurt for like a majority of the game, actually. But it is what it is. Our opponent knew exactly what to do, where to cut us off at that circulation point. And it carried them throughout the game. At the very least, we can go out with a bang. We can go out on our own terms. Our whole deck is Rapid Strike cards now. So the idea is to get to this point eventually. But there's a little bit of misexecution there. A little bit of a flawed judgment. And a lack of Octillery. Hit him back with the well played. There's that Bruno also that would have been really, really crucial in that one turn. But not complaining. We still had a good game. It came down to the wire, honestly. One more turn and it's ours. I guarantee it. One more turn and it's ours. But that is the game. That's how it goes. That is the Pokemon trading card game. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe. I have a couple of cool videos coming up. We're doing our Battle Breakdown series every Friday. Please, please, please. I really appreciate the love you guys showed on that. Check that out. I really enjoy it. When my voice is feeling a little bit better, I'll be back to streaming. But yeah, happy holidays, everyone. See you guys soon.